would say that at this point, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, is a niche, right? I said that in the video right before this one about Angela Levin and how she's obsessed and how she poppycocks daily about Meghan and that Meghan is her niche. But in fact, it's more than just Angela's niche. I think she's just a niche, period. I think Meghan has carved out a niche that is very distinct and very lucrative. And she has become a phenomenon in her own right. But I also think that, you know, like on social media platforms, for example, and certainly in traditional media, her presence today is ubiquitous. I would say since she married Harry, she's become ubiquitous in media. And, she's captivating, audiences are captivated by her. And she generates a staggering amount of engagement that amounts to quite a lot of money. And I think in all of these media outlets that cover her daily, these reporters, I think, and journalists are assigned to her specifically. It seems like, for example, I think the New York Post, they have a specific journalist who covers Jeff Bezos's fiance, Lauren Sanchez, right? That's all that reporter will do is to cover Lauren Sanchez because she's going to be so big, apparently. But I think Meghan already is that, and so having special correspondents who just cover Meghan and certainly Harry, of course, but in particular Meghan, I think is going to become increasingly a norm. And certainly a lot of YouTube channels, that's all they cover is just the Sussexes, And, my channel, I go back and forth. At first, I was only about the Sussexes, and now I'm trying to expand a little bit more, but I would say that for the moment, I'm mostly about the Sussexes as well, I mean, it's a real niche, and you have platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. All these content creators are just, they're drawn to Meghan's story. And entire channels are dedicated to Meghan, to dissecting her every move from her fashion choices to her philanthropic endeavors with her husband. It's an insatiable demand for content relating to Meghan, And so she has become not just a passion for a lot of these people, but a real paycheck, a serious paycheck, not like a few dollars that you get on this YouTube channel over here, but a real paycheck that pays the mortgage, that pays for the car, that pays for the vacations. I mean, it's real serious business. And so you have this human being who's becoming synonymous with views and ad revenues for, again, not just social media people, but established media outlets like GB News, like BBC, like the Daily Mail, And, if they get it wrong, they find themselves, they go under. I mean, look at what happened to, I think, Talk TV and Piers Morgan and these types of people. She was very much a niche for them, but they didn't survive anyway because they took the wrong slant. People were not interested in hearing their bio, right? So it's kind of like, if you're smart, you cover Meghan, you might as well cover her in a positive way because people like her. People like to hear about her. They like what she wears. She's a real brand. She's a real niche, right? Then of course you have other issues to think about because when a person is a niche, I think I don't know, I've never been anybody's niche, but I think it could start to take a toll on their mental health, and there's some ethical questions to ask ourselves here is that should we be covering her and the Sussexes to this extent? I mean, should we allow ourselves to treat her as a niche it's very, very complex because yes, she is a very, very interesting subject matter, but then she's also a person, and even when you're covering her positively, I can't imagine that sometimes it's just completely too much. So yeah, there's that. What do you think?